Hello everyone and welcome to a 2026 version of my, I guess, how I make the things I make videos. I usually try and do one of these each year, just because technology and things change so much. Just a heads up, I very rarely speak on videos and in public and things like that, so if the quality and stuff and my presentation isn't top notch, like some of these pro streamers, I do apologize, but I'll do my best I just want to show you what I do and how I do things, and yeah, if you can just put I'm recording on a webcam here, so you have to deal with it. Okay, so where to begin? All right. Okay, so let's start from the top. So what are the tools that I would use? So let's have a quick look here. I'm not going to focus on music. I mean, just to give you a quick rundown of the music side, because music side is way different than the art. So for my music and stuff, I've been doing this the longest, and yeah, use everything like Cubase and pretty much all native instruments for all my synths and plugins and whatever. If I decide to do a music video, because it's a whole other thing, I don't use any AI tools or anything in music. It's all studio raw. We'll come to that. So for now, we're doing art. So for art, so as a rough, if you want to go through on my website, I'll put a link in the description and stuff. You can go through and have a more detailed read of what I do. But the main ones that I want to go through, just for people that are interested in, oh hey, I've seen Trent's work and it's got a gritty aesthetic, and like, how does he make it like that? And is that AI? Is it not AI? Is it? Well, let me tell you, it's a bit of everything. So I do things very unconventionally in that I have an idea and I don't really give a shit what tools I use to get there. I use anything. It'll be physical media, it'll be digital media, it'll be photography, it'll be drawing, it'll be pictures of dirt, it'll be anything I can think of that is to come up with what I've got in mind. So to start from the top, we'll go through the elephant in the room, which is generative AI, which I know a lot of people just absolutely fucking love. Just the love for generative AI is just amazing. I'm kidding. Honestly, generative AI is such an amazing tool when it's used the right ways. I'm not naive to the issues with it, but also I think there's way too much misinformation and people that don't quite understand how it works and what it can do. Anyone can go to your Gemini or your Chat GPT and just type in, make me a picture of a cute rabbit. But anyone can sketch a picture of a cute rabbit, like a stick figure. Like it's much of a muchness. Who really gives a shit? But if you've got an idea, you want to create like a blockbuster image or something, and you don't have access, you don't have all the time to learn Blender or Maya or 3D programs or whatever, and you can go into AI tools and type in your ideas. You can feed in your own sketches and things like that, and you can create some really cool stuff. If you want to learn the tools, amazing, but you've also got the power there just to realize your vision straight away, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not everyone wants to spend years and years learning things. They just want to tinker around and have fun, and at the end of the day, being creative is about having fun and expressing yourself. It doesn't matter what you use to do it, okay? The world is shit enough as it is, so the fact that people are putting other people down for the tools they use, I think is just ridiculous. So anyway, for this video, yes, I use generative AI, but I'm going to show you how I use it, and you can make up your own mind. If you want to flame me in the comments, go for it. I'll probably just block you because I'm so tired of talking about it, the pros and cons, because if you want to go have a look at my stance on it, go to my website, go to the Creative Toolkit page, and you can read all my shit on ethical AI and how I use it, blah, 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 whatever. Let's get to it. So I will use, at the moment for 2026, I've pivoted to using Krea. Krea is like a multi, I'm sort of worried I'm going to click on something that's going to show like more stuff that YouTube doesn't like. So bear with me. So in Krea, it makes it really easy, because I like things that are sort of straightforward and easy, to create your own references or LoRa's. So Scarlett, you probably maybe come across if you followed my work. So I've got Scarlett here, and I've gone through various iterations of it. Some I use more than others. And this is all sort of trained on my photos and pictures of textures and dirt and bark and wood and pictures of myself and drawings, everything. It's all kind of fed in there and trained maybe on sometimes up to about 1,000 pieces of work. and I tweak and change and chop things out and put new things in to get different styles. But these are all trained purely on my own stuff. So is it 100% my stuff? Look, no, it's not, if I'm being completely honest. I use Flux. At the moment, actually, no, I'm using Creo 1. Creo 1 for what I do it's like perfect, it's bang on. I'm not going to go through my photo libraries. I just feel like I'm going to find things that YouTube's not going to like. But yeah, so if you go through any of my recent art, most of these are done in Creo 1. So a good example, so that one's done in Creo 1. References from my photos and art and whatever. Creo 1. And I think that was Creo. Yeah. And then the other tool I've started using is Nano Banana Pro, which is Google. Same thing here, which you can do is you can feed in your own images, so you can use your own references up to, I think it was up to like, I don't know how many you can do now. It was a fair few, but I used the Pro one. And so it works this kind of same way. So look, it's basing whatever it's creating on the images that you input. And yeah, I mean, let's give it a whirl. Let's do an example. So let's feed in some of my own stuff. It's not yet released, so let's try that. This is really quick, haphazard. Okay. That scary looking thing. That scary looking thing. Photo of girl smoking. And the devil in front of an American flag. Quite fitting. All right. So normally I'd spend a bit of time, tweaking out what you want, and you'd probably make the images a bit more cohesive as to what you actually want. But for now, let's just use this as an example. This is Nano Banana Pro. So let's say an analog style image taken in. The more specific you are, the better, especially with Nano Banana Pro. The analog style image taken in 1994 with a wide angle lens. Oh, piss off. Wide angle lens in Paris. The image is weathered and worn and has light decay and motion blur. Incidental portrait taken without warning. Found footage film. Look, I could probably refine that, but whatever. I'm just typing off the top of my head. Let's go. And so, yeah. And half the fun of doing stuff with this is just playing around with your reference images and seeing what comes up. And that's the same thing I do in Creo, which, yeah, you can use for free. It's Creo.ai. They've got a whole bunch of other tools as well, so you can edit all your videos in there. It's got Nano Banana. It's basically a one-stop shop, but you do have to pay for your credits. So because I've got Google Pro, I tend to use the Nano Banana in my own other separate Google one. It's great. The devs are really nice. It's the most streamlined tool I've found that can do everything. It does real-time editing as well, which, to be honest, I haven't really got the hang of yet, so I haven't really tried it too much. Create your own nodes. Yeah, video, image, 3D objects, enhance, everything. So yeah, I do for an all-in-one stop shop. If you've got, maybe $50 to spend a month, you want to play around, I recommend Creo, 100%. I mean, the aesthetic's kind of there, but it's completely off. Yeah, I'd probably need to work with it. I mean, yeah, whatever. You get the idea. So that, anyway, what I'm trying to say is let's say we've come up with an image, which for argument's sake, I've already done, and I've brought it into Affinity here. So Affinity is my next stop shop. So Affinity is basically, if you know Photoshop, Affinity was brought out by Canva very recently. The upside of that is it's now completely free. All the tools are there, all in one: design, illustration, and all your editing. If you want to pay for a Canva subscription, you can have access to AI tools, things like background removal and stuff like that. And you've got your little personas up here, so you can choose to edit with vectors, pixels, photography, whatever you want. I recently updated it, so I've lost all mine, which is really annoying. For now, pixels the main one. I'm not going to do a Photoshop or editing tutorial because I feel like there's way better ones on the internet. But yeah, so the main thing I'll do is bring my image into here and I'll start layering. Now the big thing of how I get the textures in my stuff is overlays. Now these overlays I'll either take myself, I'll take with my Google Pixel 7 Pro camera, so macro shots of dirt and textures, paint, wood, the floor, my cat's fur, whatever, and you layer all that over to give it that analog look. And you want to use presets like differences in screens. Whatever you call the word, to layer it over. Yeah, your differences in screens to make it sort of blend in. So as an example, what's this one here? Magazine texture. Yeah, just give it that red, which I've used for a few different things. And I just keep layering and layering, layering and layering and layering. And you edit around and whatever. After that, we go into this program that is called Mosh Pro, which is awesome. And I've been using this for a very long time when it used to be called Photo Mosh Pro. Super cheap. I think it's like $50, $60 for the Pro version. 100% recommend it. So we open up it here as an example. Hello. Yeah, got some presets here. You can literally do anything. You can make video versions. You can, but basically, I use this as the final sort of step before I ship it off. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. You go through. You've got a bunch of different effects and tools you can use. It's basically like Affinity, but more of a, if you're into sort of making the gritty analog look, Mosh Pro, as it's called now. So, okay, so let's just export that as JPEG. That'll do. I'm gonna stop calling my stuff. So say I've exported that. Say I've come up with a preset in Mosh Pro. Oh, actually, kind of cool. Some weird art. Drag that out. Cool. Basically done. Okay, now for the overlays, this is what I want to get in. What I wanted to get into as well. So I use two main ones. There's a company called Acid Byte. Now Acid Byte do a whole bunch of presets, more for video and things. They've got some really good grain, color LUTs, stuff like that. I've bought so many of these. They're relatively look, they're not cheap, but they work a treat. The ones I use the most would be where is it? Overlays. The ones I use the most would be oh god, what am I doing? It's been a while since I've been to the actual website. Color grading. Oh, anyway. Look, I use the Cinema 35mm, 16mm. And no, they're the main two, which you can find in here. I just can't bother looking. This is a very casual video. You just have to get used to it. Other thing to do, also before we go there, the other one I use is Dan Robinson. So Dan Robinson's ones are a little bit more pricey, but that exact texture there is the one I used in this picture here as an example. And yeah, he does some really good ones just for grain and things like that. Now, the other thing I recommend is honestly set up an Etsy account and go through LUTs and overlays that people make here. You can find some for like $2 that are amazing, like $2, $3, like all kinds of things. And it's just you could spend like $50 and get like bloody 20 things here. So they're the main ones that I use. I'll still obviously experiment and do different things, but yeah, main ones would be Acid Byte, Dan Robinson, and I'll just flick around on Etsy and see what I can find. Where were we after that? I think that was it. Okay, so then yeah, we made an image. Actually, yeah, I think that is it. I've just sort of explained it in such a quick way. It normally takes a lot longer, but yeah, that's just sort of the basic gist of it. I mean, other tools that I do use as well, I've got the Stable Diffusion there, which is all, so I train models locally on my own PC. I don't do it as often because I find it really chugs my computer. Like, it's a decent computer, but the stuff I want to make at the resolution I want to make, it struggles a bit. But I do all my own stuff locally as well, but not as often. That's why I just prefer Creo. Other thing I wanted to mention was, for my videos, so same things apply. I use a lot of these overlays. So Acid Bite, again, would be the main one there. I wish I could fucking bloody find what I was looking for. Here we go. So CRT Elements, Super 8 package, here we go, analog videos. So these are the ones that pretty much are my videos. I'll tweak them obviously a bit and play around with them. But yeah, 35mm, that's my main one there. It's $61, that's Australian. But lifetime license, you can use them as much as you want. So for my videos, I use Movavi Video Editor. I have played around, I've used Final Cut Pro for years back in the day when I was a film editor, loved it, but I just hate using Macs now, I'm on PC. Tried DaVinci, it was fine, but it's just too much there for what I like to do. And Adobe, I've used Adobe Premiere Pro, but I just found it way too convoluted for the kind of things I want to do. Movavi is very user-friendly, it's very easy to use, and it's very fucking cheap. And honestly, it works perfectly. You can get a lifetime, you can either get like a yearly license for like $20 a year or something like that on their website, or you can just go to Steam, buy it once, and you own it for life. I've got the last 3 yearly versions of it. It's that good and that handy. It is not overkill. It does overlays and editing super well. Things are super snappy, super easy to use. And if you just want to make videos that are a bit of a higher quality than just sort of making it with freeware and stuff, but without the confusion and convoluted, stuff that you get with like, your Final Cut Pro and your Adobe Premiere, without the same price either, Movavi is the way to go for video editing. Now, with all that said and done, I think after we've gone through that, one of the big things that I keep seeing on Reddit and like in a lot of my chats and things is the discourse around generative AI. It is the elephant in the room. It's the thing I get the most sort of pushback on. And most of the time I really do try and engage with people to sort of explain how the tools are used, but it mostly falls on deaf ears. It's a very weird juncture at the moment in terms of people that use these tools. A lot of people don't give a shit either way. They just make things and they don't care, but there's a very vocal sort of minority. You're seeing things like, video games like, Claire Obscure won Game of the Year, but oh no, it used a placeholder generative AI image and they patched it out in week 2 or something. And, well, no, let's disqualify him from the Indie Awards. I was like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? Like, calm down. Everyone's using AI tools. Everyone's using AI tools in some capacity, whether it's generative AI, whether it's coding, whether it's whatever. Again, I'm not naive to it being used for nefarious purposes. I guess that's like anything. People are going to do bad shit if they want to with anything. I don't like that. I do not agree with that. But what I do think is fine is generative AI used with a specific creative vision in mind. Like, you've got an idea, you don't have a whole lot of money, and it gives you the tools to do that. I would have been able to make my pretty much all of the YouTube videos that I make without using generative AI tools. A lot of them are sort of mixed media. Some of them are real footage. Some of them are, a lot of it's sort of my own art. All of it's my own art fed into video tools like VO, which is the main one I use at the moment, VO3. I'm an introvert. I don't like working with people, but I have so many ideas, and this is the way that I can do it. And I don't have a whole lot of money to pay actors to be in this shit, which I would want to do. Ideally, if I had all the money in the world, hell yeah, I would try and come out of my introverted bubble, pay people, pay crews, and do it the cool, fun way. But that's just not the case for a lot of people. No one's got any money anymore. So if AI tools give us the tools, AI gives us the tools to do cool things on relatively low budgets. Like that. I mean, this, for example, this is just a tech test. I could never have made something like this without AI. But it's always been in my head of, I'd love to do like a sci-fi noir. And I had all these sketches and images and ideas in my head of what I wanted to do. Is it perfect? No, it's just a demo. But just things like that. And as I'm gradually getting more and more, getting my head around how to really direct and use these tools, it's still a lot of work. Because despite what some people say, you click a button, it's done. It's really not. And yeah, I've got 3 new short films coming out next year, which are all done now. I think one of them is the best thing I've ever made, and it's a lot more cohesive as a little horror short in that it has its start, middle, and end, and that's a mix of like real footage, documentary footage, and sort of AI footage. It's about UFOs, and it's I don't think I've seen what the payoff is in it in any movies or anything. So it might land, it might not, but it's definitely unique. So I'm excited for people to see that. Aside from that, I think that's really it. So look, any questions about the process? I've probably I'm trying to keep this brief, but I think I've been talking for like 20,000 hours. Please ask away. I just sort of wanted to give a very sort of basic rundown of the tools that I'm currently using. But yeah, a really good. Yeah, please ask away. Send me questions. You can go to my website. You can download all my work, all my visual art, all my videos, pretty much all my music as well, besides stuff that's with labels that I don't have a choice. Fortunately, yeah, I don't use other labels anymore. I do it self-published, but some of my old music, yeah, I don't have a choice. It's locked. So, I mean, you can use it anyway, but they might chase you. I don't know. Yeah, all my stuff. If you go to my website, go to downloads, it's all here. You've got everything from 2025 and then everything from 2016, 2024. It's all free to use. You can download it, you can remix it, you can use it in your own Facebook cover photos, you can use it in your album covers, you can send it to your grandma, whatever you want to do. I'm a very big advocate for Creative Commons, and I think the way that art carries forward is taking an idea and building upon an idea and doing something fun with it, and seeing what someone else can do. I think the most exciting thing I see is when someone's gone, hey, I took your photo, your art, whatever, let's say a horror portrait, and I've done a drawing of it, but I've put this in. And it's just like, holy shit, I never would have thought of that. But seeing someone take something you thought of and putting their own spin on it, I don't understand how that is a bad thing. Being creative is all about having fun and bringing joy. And I just see so much discourse and so much hate around people that are just being creative in their own ways and just doing what they want. Like, just fucking calm down. I think more people spend more time whinging what other people do than actually making anything themselves. But yeah, so long and short, yeah, it's Creative Commons. Have a look at my website if you get a chance. I've got pretty much everything here. You go through most of my art. Most of it's on DeviantArt, music, and all my videos. Go through my creative toolkit, socials, info if you want to learn a bit more about what I do. If you have a commission idea, reach out. And if you want to donate, because I do everything for free, you can go to my PayPal or buy me a coffee, something like $1 if you want. You don't have to, but it's there if you want to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions, reach out. I hope that's sort of given you a bit of an insight into what I'm using in 2026. The technology is always changing, so, who knows where we'll be in another 12 months. But thank you for watching. Appreciate you sticking with me, and have an awesome day. Bye!